Hello, I'm Jason Mensing, head football coach at Lemon Bay High School, and I want to welcome you to our first Coaches Show. We're excited to do this production and looking forward to sharing more about Lemon Bay athletics and Lemon Bay football with you. With us today, we have Ryan LaValle, Athletic Director at Lemon Bay High School. He has been at Lemon Bay for how many years, Ryan?
This is my 10th year at Lemon Bay.
And has been a great supporter for all of our athletic programs, and fortunately is willing to help us with this production.
Well, Coach, let's talk about the game. Island Coast, district game, tough double overtime loss. I thought the kids played hard. They fought till the end. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, it was a tough loss, and the tough part about it was how hard our kids competed throughout. Earlier in the year, we had played a couple games where we played real hard for a half and then kind of wore out, and over the last 3 weeks, I feel like we've played at a really high level of intensity throughout. We've got a really young team with only 10 seniors, and a couple of those hurt for the season now. So for us to have these young guys competing as hard as they did throughout, and give us a chance to win late is something that's positive and we can build off of.
I was excited. It was a great game, and it came down to the last minute. You can't ask for more than double overtime. I mean, except to get the win.
Yes, to get the win next time.
We had a real tough time in the beginning with their running back, Javaris Leapart, right, going to Northern Illinois. Kid's a man.
Yeah, he's got a unique running style. He's really thick in his lower half. From his waist down, he's got tremendous strength, and anytime you got a back with that type of build, and he's about 210 pounds, they're likely to break tackles when you have an initial hit on him. So they had two different offensive philosophies. They had one where they would go into a spread set, and they like to throw the ball, and we did really well with that. We played loaded boxes against it. Typically, we had 8 defenders that were trying to fit and set on that, and had success forcing them to pass the ball, which wasn't their strength. But then they also had this change-up set where they would go and direct snap it to Javaris, and they were mainly double tight with 2 tight ends and two fullbacks in that set, and that caused us some issues early in the game. I actually have a clip I'd like to show you of a play that they busted early, and some of our breakdowns that we had. As you know, throughout the game we started correcting that. You'll see, Ryan, on this play, this was one of the first times they lined up in their condensed look. Javaris is at the quarterback position, and in this particular play, our will linebacker and our corner have outside leverage and have to support the ball and turn it back in. Javaris takes the play wide, and we lose our leverage points. You can see right off the gate here. And then you're going to see his tremendous talent, obviously, after that. We lose our leverage, he's up the sideline, makes a cutback for a touchdown. Another view of it from behind the play, and you'll, again, see the same kind of thing where we lost the leverage on the edge, which leads Javaris to having a big run. Anytime we're playing a Division I running back, it's critical that we don't have that type of missed assignment. Now, the wonderful thing that came off of that is in the second half, they had 3 straight possessions in which they didn't get a first down. And what the major change in that was our ability to fit the edge. We got much more consistent with that. We turned the ball back in to our 3 inside linebackers, Asher Spring, Caleb Hutcherson, and Vinny Lulo, who played great game for us on Friday.
Yeah, we saw that, we started to kind of slow it down in the middle of the game there and got some good stops, and thought that was going to be a big difference a little bit.
I do think that there's a process in every football game where you improve your fits as you go because you're used to then seeing it at that speed. It's almost impossible to emulate a running back like that in practice. Right. So during the course of the game, there's a transitionary period that goes on where your players are learning to fit things a little bit better.
Offensively, it looked like we came out in some different looks that we haven't seen yet. What was the motivation behind that, and how effective do you think?
Yeah, I was very surprised how effective it was for us. We had came out in some 2 wing looks. We've been in a T a whole year. We actually implemented some jet sweep game, which is speed sweep game on the edge, 2 weeks ago, and just have been trying to improve on it and practice it. with the idea that it was going to be something we needed during district play. We've had a lot of injuries at running back this year, so due to that, we've played a lot of different guys, and that's kind of slowed down our progress as far as expanding some of our formations and looks and some of the other things that we wanted to do. Was really proud in how our kids executed it for the first time in a live game situation. I'm going to show a couple clips of this as well. There's a few things that we did really well and a couple things that we got to grow and learn from. And I think both of those things through time will help us. So here's the first TD. This is actually in the T. So this is our base formation. It's full house T. And it's a very deceptive base formation. This is our trap play. Adam Schwartz, our fullback's been running this really well all year. He does a great job of sliding through. And I'm going to show you the back cut of this so it's a little easier to see. Number 5 here, the fullback is the guy who gets the ball. The idea is that you're going to create deception by faking off tackle, and then he's going to get the ball and kind of slide through. The level 2 and level 3 blocks are really the critical elements. Both tight ends, Aiden Fruhoff and Nick Wilson, are responsible for the level 3 blocks. Both do an outstanding job on this particular play, getting to those blocks. And you'll see Zach Ellis, our right guard, did a tremendous job of getting into the hip. It is a great pull and gets into the hip of this defender right here to open up the trap play. Our offensive line right now, all 5 guys are underclassmen. They're all learning the position. There are 3 of them that never played offensive line prior to this year. So pretty excited to have those guys be able to jump in and play as well as they have. So that's the base T look. But as the game went on, we ended up running a lot more of our jet looks here. And I'll show you an example here of the 2 wings that we have. This formation we call tight. Both tight ends are just outside of the wing. You're going to see flat motion. There's 2 types of motion we can do with this, a flat motion and an arc motion. And on the flat motion, we're looking to run a speed sweep. The goal of a speed sweep is to create horizontal pressure on the defense. Much like you would do in an outside pass game in a spread formation, we're looking to do that from a 2-wing formation. Back does a good job of reading his blocks, cutting vertical, getting off of a nice vertical. Show another clip of that in the end zone. You'll see his motion, stretching the edge, getting up to our level 2 blocks. Is really, anytime you have a horizontal play, it's really critical that you get up to the level 2 blocks on those. One more look here of his sweep look. And on this particular one, and again, I just wanted to show this based on our newness. This particular one, you'll see we actually missed the handoff. And that's a byproduct of it being a play that's newer for us instructionally. Now, our quarterback, Luke Brown, who's been fantastic this year as well, does the right thing. Because anytime you miss the handoff, you should go where the play's supposed to go, because that's where you're blocking. And Luke, playing quarterback here, does a fantastic job of that, of just running it as a QB sweep, which we blocked well and had other assignments and had an effective play.
He made it look like that was the play.
Absolutely.
I watched it happen.
Yeah.
I thought, oh,
Little QB sweep, yeah. It happened twice in the course of the game in which he did that. But I think we got a bye week this week, and then going into the following week, we've got a couple weeks where we can work on our timing with some of those newer looks that we have in. And now with our backs being healthy, we're going to have the ability to do that.
So after the defense made those great, three and outs, basically, who were you guys that played well on that stretch?
Yeah, our linebacker play, Vinny Lulo we have an award that we give every week called the Toughest Mana. And that award goes to our player that we feel like is demonstrating selflessness and love to their teammates and a gritty mentality during the course of the game. And Vinny was a guy at the start of the year wasn't even starting for us. He was playing the JV games and getting opportunities to get better, and came to practice with a great mentality and work ethic every day. And this week was our toughest man. So I think that speaks volumes to how he performed. Luke Brown, our free safety, has been steady all season long. And to have a free safety that's a level 3 defender that can come up and tackle is a critical thing when you're playing Division I running backs.
We had that long 12-minute drive, and it looked like that could seal the game. What's your standout during that?
Yeah, and I think, one of the essence of who we have to become at Lemon Bay is that we have to be a program that prides ourselves on our toughness. And we have to be a program that prides ourselves on having those long drives, because typically week in and week out we're not going to out-athlete their opponent. So, just like Northwestern or Army or some of the other great universities play a little different style, and in playing that different style, they create advantages for themselves. We need to be that program as well. And that drive, we got the ball with a minute left in the third quarter and drove, I think, 85 yards down for a score to put ourselves up by 8. And that's how you win big ball games, is you put yourself in that position to have those late scores and put a lot of pressure on the other team. During that drive, Caleb Hutcherson ran the ball well. Drew Smith did a lot of good things, both running and blocking for us. Asher Spring had a great game in the backfield throughout. Up front, Bo Foster played his best game of his season, who's probably been our steadiest offensive line all year, but he played his best game throughout. Adam Mann's been very, very good throughout. Noah Becker, our center, played his best game of the season. So we had a lot of guys step up, and the biggest thing in that drive was the consistency we had. With new schemes, it's been inconsistent throughout the year. And that 12 minutes, we not only ate clock, but we took care of the football. We made sure we fell forward, we broke tackles, we sustained blocks, and put ourselves in position to win the game.
It was a beautiful drive, and unfortunately, Island Coast made some big plays in the 2-minute drill. With the couple minutes we left them.
Yeah, we had two opportunities really there. The moment, the first moment, we had them in fourth and 12, and they ran a whole route, and we had our defenders right where they needed to be. Our corner was over the top, and Bo Mensing and Luke Brown, the free safety, made a nice break on the ball as well. And the kid made a great play, went up and caught the ball, and made a play. So that gave him a first down and gave him an opportunity to hit a fade on us, which was unfortunate. We had a young guy over there trying to cover it for the first time in that moment, and they made a big play on that and hit that fade. So that obviously drove it to overtime and put us in a position where what we always say for overtime, we get more football. So that's fun. Like, it's something to be excited about. It's more football, right? They didn't have to pay for it.
Play a little extra.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on overtime?
That was an initial, because of how it happened, that initial thought is always, how do we generate enthusiasm for this moment? Anytime they score late, it can be difficult. And the mentality of your team, worried about the outcome and the situation rather than, hey, we can play more football. This is awesome. We practice for this. And overtime wins are the best. I mean, they're awesome.
It's exciting.
Yeah, for sure. And so we won the toss, which was big too. Anytime you get to go on defense first, that's a huge advantage because you know what you got to do to win the game. And in our case, I'm not sure that it worked out to our advantage, but typically it does. As they scored right away, and we stopped their 2-point conversion attempt. And then we scored right away on the first play as well, and then didn't execute the extra point, which is probably on me. It's not on the kids. It's something we haven't practiced enough in our efforts here, and I got to do a better job of preparing our team for that moment.
Well, this is the bye week. Getting ready for Estero in 2 weeks. What's your plan? What are you trying to get done this week?
Yeah, we're going to try to refine our wing packages. We've got some looks that we're going to try to surprise Estero with. So hopefully there's some things that they're not prepared for going in the game. Defensively, they've got a really effective and efficient passing attack. And so we're going to have to spend a lot of time this week in making sure our alignments are correct and our leverage angles are right. So that because they do present a little different challenge than what we've seen. The last couple of weeks we've seen really good power running backs they're big time players, and this week now we were presented with a challenge of a team that really wants to throw the ball first and find windows in the underneath zones. So it's going to take a lot of preparation to work on that, and I'm thankful that we got a bye week to get a little healthier, both mentally and physically.
That'll be helpful. It's a must-win, right? If you want to get in the district championship, if you want to play for the district title, got to beat Estero.
Well, and we believe that if we win the last two, we'll win the district title. We feel like we're in a position that Cypress Lake's probably the favorite right now. Have to beat Estero this week to put ourselves in a position to have a chance to win that district title, and then go to Cypress Lake and see what happens. I greatly appreciate you turning in for our first coaches show. We look forward to doing more of these. The next one will be after our contest with Estero. We look forward to bringing in players, assistant coaches, and other people that are part of our program to show all the things that we offer here at Lemon Bay.